Hey Sugar Geeks, today I'm going to show you how to make your very own homemade, authentic, shelf-stable gummy bears. Try and say that 3 times fast. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first I have my water here. You can use water or you can use like a flavored liquid like juice or anything that has a nice flavor to it, but I like to do water because then I add my own candy flavoring later. I'm just going to sprinkle my gelatin mixture over the water and set it aside to let it bloom, which basically means letting the gelatin swell and absorb that water. I'm just going to give this a quick mix. I don't want to incorporate air, so I'm just kind of pushing the gelatin down to try and get it to come in contact with water with no clumps. Make sure your water is cold, otherwise the gelatin won't absorb properly. Now into a medium-sized saucepan over medium-high heat, I'm going to add in my sugar and my corn syrup, which I have microwaved for about 10 seconds just so it's easier to pour. And then I'm going to add in my sorbitol. Sorbitol is basically sugar, but it adds a certain texture that is very specific to gummy bears, so you don't want to skip it. We're going to bring this to a simmer over medium-high heat. And then we're going to reduce that to medium. Just cook it until the sugar is dissolved, maybe about 1 minute. And I have a few little granules of sugar around the outside edge, which I'm going to brush down with a clean pastry brush. And the reason we do this is just to make sure that we don't accidentally crystallize our sugar mixture. Just want to make sure all granules of sugar are dissolved. And we can remove that from the heat. And we're going to add in our gelatin and stir that until it's dissolved. And then go ahead and add in your citric acid, which makes the candy have that tart sour flavor that most gummy candies have. You can totally leave the citric acid out. It's just it just adds that certain flavor that I think most people associate with gummy bears. So you could try it and see which one you like better, if you like the citric acid or not. Okay. I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes to let the foam rise to the top, and I'm going to scoop that off because any foam that is on the surface of your candy is not going to go away. So if you want your gummy bears to be super smooth and shiny, we don't want any foam. Fun fact, this foam, when it rises to the top, this is how I came up with my idea to make my beer gummy with the foam on top purposefully, because I was like, this foam doesn't go away. And then I thought, oh, but if you wanted foam, this would be perfect. So that's how I came up with the idea for the beer gummy recipe with the foam on top. Okay, now I'm going to divide this into 3 bowls. I'm using this teeny tiny little strainer to just kind of strain the liquid a little bit more, just to get out any lumps or imperfections. By all means, use a larger strainer. I just can't find mine. Now I'm going to add some flavoring. I have some candy oils here from Loran Oils. I have raspberry and strawberry and tropical punch. You can obviously use whichever flavors you want. These are the ones that I've just decided to use. I'm going to start with my strawberry. This is concentrated flavor, so you don't need to add a ton. I'm going to do about 3 droppers full. Probably about a teaspoon. And then we're just going to mix those up. And there will be a little bit of color just from the flavoring, and you can add more color to make it like a stronger color. I'm going to add just a tiny drop of electric pink to my strawberry. I feel like airbrush color would be better for this because it would dissolve a little bit better, but I don't have any pink airbrush color at the moment. I'm going to add blue to my raspberry. And then I'm going to add yellow to my tropical. All right, so now I have a gummy bear mold, very vital if you want to make gummy bears. And I'm going to spray it with a little bit of oil to just keep my gummies from sticking. I'm just taking a little paintbrush and just kind of working that oil down into those crevices. And just wipe off the excess. You don't need a ton of oil in there. Just gonna flip that over and kind of let it drain out a little bit. Do my other two. These molds came with some little syringe type things to suck up the liquid and put it into the mold, so that's convenient. So I'm just gonna start with my strawberry here. You could just pour it, but it's a little bit gooier, obviously. And then just squeeze those right in there. It's funny because I feel like the strawberry, the little specks from the food coloring make it look more like strawberry because of the little specks. I'm going to do some of the tropical fruit ones. You can just kind of pop any bubbles along the way if they bother you. If you wanted to make these alcoholic gummies, you could totally replace the water with wine. I haven't tried this with like hard alcohol. I'm not sure if that would work the same, but you could definitely replace them with wine or sparkling cider, champagne. Anything like that is gonna work really good. You have some like grown-up gummies. All right, and then you wanna put these into the refrigerator for at least 6 hours, but preferably overnight to let them fully set. Careful. All right, our gummy bears are done chilling. I've already taken a couple out of the mold here just to test. They come out super easy. It's actually very satisfying to pop them out. They're nice and shiny from the oil. They look gorgeous. So now that your gummy bears are finished, you can put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in the fridge, or you can just leave them on the countertop. They'll actually dry out more and more over time as well. If you've ever had a fresh bag of gummy bears that are super soft, it's probably because they're not very old. And that's how you make your own gummy bears. Why would you make your own gummy bears when you can buy them for $1 at the grocery store? Because it's fun. So go forth, make your own gummy bears, switch up the flavors, and have a lot of fun. I'll see you guys next time.